What's good, big dog? It's your boy Dre and Big A Impala back up in the building. On tonight's live, we're going to cover some specific topics. The first topic is going to be how and when you should be dropping knowledge to those who don't know. The second thing is going to be identifying the real from the not so real. But before we get to any of the topics tonight, let's pay the sponsors with the intro.
This for you. Too many mind.
What's good,
Mind,
big
mind.
dog? It's your boy Dre,
Mind the soul.
and this is Samurai
Mind the
Kennel.
people want.
At my kennel, we focus on my breed of choice, the American Pit Bull Terrier. I also want to become a basic obedience trainer as a professional. I train basic obedience: sit, down, stay, come, and basic healthy walking on and off leash, healing. We also condition our own dogs utilizing old school methods that were used back in the combat days. We are the founders of the Neo Dogman movement and have begun our foray into the ADVA's dog shows, winning our first dog show. We breed our own stock for the purposes of ease of training and conditioning. Dogs that are easy to work. We have our own brand. We have our own digital dog show and our own online obedience challenge. We are for the positivity and uplifting of the breed. If you'd like to get involved with Samurai Kennels, all you gotta do is follow us on social media and find out what's happening next. This is the way of Bushi Dre. Shout outs to Big A, 601, Soul, JT, BV, and our future Shoguns.
Yo, Big A, what's good, fam? Okay, so sound check, y'all. Give me a thumbs up if y'all can hear me.
Oh, can you hear me? Can you
Yeah, I
hear
can hear
me?
you now.
Yeah. I'm back in here like I left my wallet and keys, man. You know what it is.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, man, as y'all know, we always do it in the first 5 to 10 minutes. We're gonna give some time to get in here, do a roll call, make the announcements for all of our upcoming events, and then we're gonna get into the actual show around that 9-10 minute mark. But I want to give a special shout out to brother Dickie Foster. Dickie, man, you went above and beyond, bro. You're what we call a hero in the Air Force, man. So Dickie is a subscribed member, been a member for over 2 months, and still comes through with the super chats. So I want to give a special shout out and thank you to you, Dickie Foster. Also, Dickie, if you will leave in the comments if you want a free T-shirt, a free hide, or something else from the website that's in that price range for those things, you let us know, man, and we'll send one to you free of charge, man, because we appreciate your support, your constant support. Thank you.
Facts. Big facts.
Yeah, man. And also Dickie and anybody else who's a member, like brother Vinny in the chat. Shouts out to Heart Finish Kennels. Once again, they enter any competition free of charge because their membership, they already paid their dues. They in there, you know. And that's not to take away from any of y'all who are not members by any means whatsoever. Your support, your subscribes, your likes, they all help us get monetized to make sure that we're doing what we can to better the community, and it keeps us motivated to keep doing what we do. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Well said.
Got Pressure Kennels Combine in the building.
Hey, what it do?
Mrs. McFarland in there. Salute to you, ma'am.
Oh yeah, she had my daughter's practice right now, jujitsu. Gotta
Hey.
gotta feed the beast.
Hey, I love that concept, bro. Hey, we're gonna talk about that tonight too. Miss Williams in the
Okay.
building. What's up, baby? And then I want to talk about that feeding the beast thing, bro. I want to talk about your mantra and my
Yes,
my
sir.
my 0341 because last week, Brother Solo but Connected also brought it to my attention. I haven't clearly defined that, so we'll cover that
Okay.
tonight too.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Them mantras, because there's a lot of brothers who rock with us, man. They need to know exactly what it is. We shout out, we shout out things, man. I don't want to leave nothing up to interpretation.
Yes, sir.
All right. So while I got y'all here, and it's the early parts of the show, for those who don't watch the whole show, but just watch the first couple minutes, entries for the online obedience challenge end this Friday, the 15th. So as long as you contact me before Friday, get your entry in, you're good to go. No harm, no foul. There's no cost for the 3 classes. The 3 classes are puppy, grown dog with equipment, grown dog without equipment. Commands that must be given within a 2-minute time limit are sit, down, stay, a recall, which most people call a come command, and either politely walking on a leash or heeling correctly off leash. These are the basic commands we want for right now. And what we're looking for is while you're heeling or walking on leash is either a figure 8 or at least a right turn, a left turn, and a stop in that motion to show that the dog is under your control and fully engaged with its handler. Big A, you got anything you want to add to that?
No, sir. No, sir. Well, I can say this, man. The thing that I do love about training is, like I say all the time, man, you can't cheat your way through it. You know, it's time invested. You can't just, turn the switch and then it's all good. You have to spend some type of time with that dog, man, and build some type of bond. And the bonds are different, But yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Very well stated, my brother. Very well stated. And so as we build up, I'm gonna go ahead and deal with the topics for tonight. The first topic is a video, and I think I'm gonna actually take the clips and start putting these clips in on the Sunday weekly reviews, so y'all can actually see what it is I'm like venting about or talking to you about on a Wednesday night sipping chills. Now the crazy thing about today was Brother Big A sent me a video, and this video is extremely graphic. So I'm probably gonna put a disclaimer on Sunday's video, but I need y'all to see this video because those y'all in this chat, I need the Shogun Army to go out on a mission after this week. In this video, this lady is at the beach, and it's already occurred. It's not, I wouldn't call it a pit bull attack. I would call it a dog that has pit bull blood in it, or pit bull type dog that was killing a baby seal, right, at the beach. And there's about, I would say at least 5 adults there. One lady is beating this dog in the head with a belt, and one person has the seal, grabbing the seal by its flippers and trying to pull the seal away from this dog that is just doing what dogs with high prey drive do. Okay? And so you hear a person yell out, "Just drown the dog."
Man, the things they were saying is crazy.
And at first I was irritated and I was mad, and that was emotion. But logic said, these dummies are gonna go out to these shelters and get these dogs, or they're gonna go to backyard breeders who don't give them any intel on these dogs. And then it takes us, a community of real ones, to educate them on what a break stick is, and that a break stick is not just used by illegal dog fighters. And so that's one of the topics I'm gonna cover tonight, is that specific scenario. And I'm gonna give you some more scenarios these are all shorts on YouTube or in TikTok. You can go watch it for yourself to cover that. And then the other thing I want to cover is the misidentification of the American Pit Bull Terrier, and why the general public just don't understand. So one of my goals in the future is to make a very quick short to help people really identify that they don't have American Pit Bull Terriers, but the why. Because you can tell somebody all day why something, what something is, but if they know the why and they understand the logic behind it, then you're going to quickly identify the crazy people from the people who are just misinformed. And with that being said, Big A, I'm going to yield the floor to you real quick, my brother.
Yeah, man. In the video, I mean, the seal, I believe the seal was already dead, and a gentleman in the seal in the video was like, "Shoot, the seal dead," and it's just it was just crazy, man, to see. But yeah, that's all.
Yeah, man. And so that video was one of the videos, and then the other video he sent me was, and I know y'all seen this one. It's a brother. He got a black dog, American Pit Bull Terrier looking dog. I'm not gonna say what it is, but it's doing work on a coyote. Now, mind you, the warrior in me knows that coyotes are nuisance animals, and that in most states, coyotes, you don't even have to have a license to kill coyotes, because in most states they're considered nuisance animals and predators, right? So like They typically offset the natural ecosystem, and taking one out in some places you can get money for the pelts of the ones you kill. Now, the way it was dispatched, I wouldn't have recorded it personally. That's something I would say for people who want to see what my dogs can actually do when they get a hold of their quarry. But I want to talk about that one too, on this episode, and just, get y'all's take on it and make sure we pushing the right message to the public. Because while I personally don't have any problem with my dog beating the piss out of a coyote, the way it was projected onto the public gives all of us a negative image.
Yeah. And usually when I see videos like that, the first thing I do is I shoot straight to the comments, and that's where you see it at. They just be, going in,
Yes, sir.
But it is what it is, man. I think, especially if you're gonna do anything like that, you definitely need to be on your P's and Q's. A lot of people just throw stuff out there, man, and put themselves in a situation. But
Yes, sir.
yeah, man. The internet is, you know what it is. People on the internet be interneting.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. And Brother Arrowhead, welcome to the chat, bro. Big shouts out to Brother Arrowhead.
Hey,
That guy.
yes, sir. In the building.
The Shogun Choice winner. Also, Brother Arrowhead, I saw you were promoting you're possibly willing to rehome a sister of Coda. For those of y'all who don't know, Coda is the Shogun's Choice and an ADBA first place show winner. She looks almost identical to Coda, so this is a great opportunity for those of y'all who are looking for some good quality stock that's bred well, that function and form fit the pedigree.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Shouts out to Mr. Schoolboy Richard Garcia in the building. And
Yes,
shouts out to
sir.
Schoolboy. Your traits video is definitely being considered for my next breeding. If nobody else don't use the formula, I'm gonna use the formula. Salute to you, sir.
Big shout out.
Oh, and Schoolboy, I'm gonna shoot you the link here shortly because I did want you to come on here and talk about that thing. I don't know if you heard about the coyote thing, but I did want to give you a chance to address it, Mr. Garcia, because I know in one of your videos you were talking about letting the dog age out and grow and letting that prey drive happen to see if they had finished. And I'm certain that you never posted that stuff on the internet either. I never saw you do nothing crazy like that, because the general public is not meant to see that kind of work. So definitely, Schoolboy, if you get a chance, and I'll shoot you that link, and you can definitely join the panel tonight, man, because I would love to hear your take on it as well, big bro. But Big A, we're gonna get right into it. Okay. The first thing I want to address is, how do you effectively teach a non-bulldogger about a breaking stick without incriminating yourself or putting them in a position where they're gonna ask you something stupid?
Right.
And so this is what I'm gonna say in regard to that. When you're dealing with somebody who is not a part of American Pit Bull Terrier history, part of the fraternity, and they don't have a mentor, the only information that they genuinely have is going to be what they see on the news. Now, I'm gonna give y'all an example of what I'm talking about, because without a frame of reference, it doesn't hold as much weight. For me, at the age of 7, I was told by the news and the powers that be that American Pit Bull Terriers will turn on you. It wasn't until I was 12 and I had a cousin move down across the street from me that had a yard of 30 pit bulls, and me being around his 30 pit bulls and being able to walk up to every single one of them once they got to know me and pet them, that I realized not only were these good dogs, but they were better than the Chow Chows and the Dobermans that was chasing me to the bus stop.
Yeah. I got a question for you.
Okay.
When you were 7 and that was implanted on you, when you first got around your cousin, did you have a fear?
It was almost a paralyzing fear, to the fact where I didn't even want to give the dogs a chance.
Yeah. And I say that to say this: just off of the news how influencing it is, you see the as especially as a child, you see the the horror that it put, the thoughts that it put in your mind about the dog, so imagine what you know everybody else is thinking who really doesn't understand.
Yes. And the good thing is I grew up in the South.
Right.
So with me growing up in the South, I had the pleasure of growing up in the woods around a lot of people who had hunting dogs, coonhounds, bulldogs, just blackmouth curs. And these dogs, growing up around these dogs gave me the advantage of having something to compare it to. Now
Yeah.
you flash forward to today where we got social media and people who would never even have been exposed to these animals at all. Now you got two worlds colliding.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially today with with the Karens and all the way things are in society. You got to be careful what you say, careful how you move. You know, uh, yeah, it puts a strain on a lot of things.
Yes. Also, I did want to say something about our influence from all the social media influencers, man. This to all the other channels. I love and support all the other channels for what they do. Each one of us brings something different to the table, and I've seen people say "mind your business," and I need to express something about that as far as our imagery and what we bring to the table. Uh, Let me let my brother 601 in here real quick. Brother 601, I'm gonna let you in just a second, bro. But salute, welcome to the panel, bro.
Whoa.
Hey, so as far as once you decide to be a YouTuber or on TV or a celebrity, anytime you choose to become a public image, you kind of lose your ability to be as private as you would like to be. Your opinions are now public opinions, whether you want to or not. That's if you're a congressman, a local celebrity, a rapper. Like so, when you do things, you have to realize that hundreds. I don't care if you got 15 subscribers, them 15 subscribers are taking information from you and trusting the fidelity of that information to be something that's going to better them or entertain them. And I'm gonna yield the floor on that.
Yes, sir. 601, what's happening?
What's up with it, brother? What's up with it, brother? Man, I see y'all cooking, goddammit, and I'm sitting around doing a little bit of nothing right now. So, man, let me
Uh,
jump one time.
yes, sir. Schoolboy, right on
Hey,
time.
what's happening?
Hey, yes,
Salute,
sir.
salute everybody.
Yes, sir.
It,
Drake. Oh, you
so
must be got.
schoolboy 601. I'm glad I got y'all here, man. Also, shouts out to brother M1 in the chat.
Okay.
Schoolboy. For
Yes,
you and
sir.
601, I want both of y'all to take this, but y'all decide which person will go first. But the video I saw earlier, this pit bull.
Let let me. This is it's kind of breaking up. Let me go. Let me go back and come back in. Let me go out and come back in.
Okay,
Okay.
all right. Well,
Shout out to M1.
601. I'm gonna give you the first dibs on it until schoolboy get back, bro. So uh anybody who's ever had a yard accident knows that the fastest way to split two dogs up without tearing the flesh off of them completely is to utilize the tools you have, which is a good breaking stick.
Right?
And for anybody, you don't have to be a dog fighter to understand the need for a breaking stick. And the scenario I wanted to give you two to digest while y'all are handling the breaking stick situation is I watched a police apprehension video where the German Shepherd is released to go get somebody. This ain't even a pit bull, and the police officer can't get this German Shepherd to release the person even once they got him in cuffs. So that police department ends up getting sued because they couldn't appropriately get that dog off of that person, and so of course they start pulling the dog and they're tearing this guy's flesh from his bone.
Mhm.
Man.
So this is why I want y'all to address the breaking stick issue, because it's not just a pit bull terrier issue, and it's a bigger issue than I can handle by myself. And with that being said, I'm gonna shut up and
Coffee.
yield the floor.
Yeah.
So what the question is, bro? I'm
Uh,
I heard
talking
it.
about
Saying,
the talking about the importance of the breaking stick, utilizing the breaking stick.
okay, yeah. I mean, shit. That's very shit off the muscle. Yeah, you
So
got.
how would you explain it to somebody uh who never used one before and never doesn't even know what a breaking stick is, and really
Yes.
it doesn't have a pit bull, has another working dog or something like that.
So so you saying how would I instruct them to use it? I mean, just
Yeah, how would you introduce it to them, and the whole deal.
well, you know me. I mean, I'm a shit, man. Stick it in the side of their mouth, man. You know what I'm saying, and rock it back and forth. You know,
Yeah,
don't you know what I'm saying? Grab the scuff for the neck, for you can have control of it, and
yeah,
stick it in the side of his mouth. You know,
yeah,
and rock it back and forth in such a nature like. Let me see. Just you're gonna put it in there and just rock it like this here. You know what I'm saying? Well, twist it. You know what
Yeah.
I'm
yeah,
saying? You
Yeah.
know, a lot of people be doing this here, talking about you gotta pop now, man. I would rock it like this right here and
yeah,
get them, you know what I'm saying? Cause I ain't trying to damage the top of my dog mouth or nobody else, dog. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to
yeah.
break no teeth or nothing. If I rock it, you know what I'm saying? I can get him on loose.
For
Now,
sure.
I could be wrong. We got Mrs. Garcia right here now. He got to tell you his.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
You
know,
want me to take over a little bit?
Yes, sir. Please.
Okay. The way you explain it is, and what you mentioned about the police dog and all that, I covered that a little bit. Where the police, they should learn and have breaking sticks for that very reason. It's very rare when they say out one time and the dog lets go. It usually doesn't happen, especially an intense dog that's well trained, right? So that's where breaking stick would come into play. The way I have explained it to people in the past and still to this day, it's a tool like anything else, right? A gun can be a tool. A hammer's a tool, and it can be used to kill somebody if somebody's psychotic. Just like a gun, they're used for violence if that's the mindset of the person, or you use it for hunting to provide food for your family on the cheap, right?
Right.
So the breaking stick is a tool, and most people don't know how to use one. The general public doesn't, is what I mean. So that's how you present it. It's the fastest way to break a dog, any dog, not just a pit bull, off of something else. And I'm going to do a video because a guy asked me, how do I use a breaking stick to get them off a hide or something like that? It had nothing to do with the fighting aspect of the past of the breed. It's just, on a hide or whatever it is they're playing, tug of war, or a spring pole or something like that. So I'm going to do that video. But basically, if let's go back to the past, and if I'm at a show with a dog, or let's say it this way, let's say it's an accident, right? A yard accident. Now, when they're intense like that, sometimes it's hard to get the stick in, right? They got their mouth closed as tight as they can. So the proper way to use it is you hold the dog by the back, by the scruff of the neck, right?
Hmm.
And you place the stick up behind their canines. And then what you do is you let the dog move forward to take a deeper bite because he knows you're pulling him off. When he does that, you slide the stick in. And
Hey,
then,
schoolboy, can I interrupt you real quick?
yeah.
Hey, so I'm not gonna lie, I've been using the break stick wrong the whole time. And it's been
Everybody
working.
does. And it's no disrespect, but regardless of whether you do it right or wrong, as long as you get that stick in there and get them off, that's what matters. So I'm a little anal on that, on how to use one, but that's just me, because that the method I use is a little bit more technical. In a situation where it's an accident or out on the street like that, it's you just want to get it in there as fast as you can. But my method is real simple, and that's the way old dog guy kind of explained it to me. And sometimes it's harder to do when they're intense because they don't open their mouth, right? But if you let them go a little forward, they're going to try to get another bite. So they're going to open their mouth a little bit to get more of a bite in their mouth. That's when you slide it in, right? You don't poke their tongue, you don't break no teeth. You just and then when it's in there flat like that, all you do is press down and pull them off like that. Now the case of the seal, and this is what happens because again, people panic. You have to learn to stay calm in situations. You know that yourself, Samurai, from being in the military. You cannot panic. You can't think if you panic. So you assess the situation very quickly and then you react. And what most people do, like with the seal or even a kid, right? And I'm not going to get into the graphics of children getting bit. I have a story we'll talk about off camera, right? But what they do is they go after the thing that's being bit. That's where their attention is focused. And that's not where it should be focused. It should be focused on the dog. You always go after the dog, not the prey, not the child, not the seal, not nothing like that. And in the case you don't have a stick, you choke them off. Just like you see MMA fighters do. I choke them a little different. I get behind their head like that and then on their throat and just press together.
Yeah.
And sometimes it takes a little while, but once they can't breathe, they're going to open their mouth. If they can't open their mouth, then because it's in there tight, if someone's there, all they have to do is press down on their mandible, the bottom jaw, and then you get them off. Or you just kind of shake them loose, they'll come out. Sometimes they're unconscious when you do that, but you're trying to save an animal or kid or whatever it is. So the dog becomes secondary in that scenario. But people, if you go pull on the seal or you pull on the whatever, the hide or whatever, the dog's going to hold on tighter. He's not going to let go. So you have to address the antagonist, if you want to put it that way. You have to address the dog, not the prey. That's just the way it should be done, because you could cause more harm than because you're trying to get them off, but your focus is on the wrong individual. It should be on the dog always. If they're going after a kid, you don't snatch the kid up, you grab the dog.
Yeah, that makes all the sense in the world. That's just like somebody going after, if somebody's being the aggressor and you going after the victim.
Right, exactly. You're trying to protect the victim, that you're going to get hit, the victim's going to get hit. You go after the aggressor, right? Yeah. Gives a chance the victim to get away. In the case of it's a dog or whatever, a kid, they can get away because your focus is on the dog and you're handling that situation, whether you're holding them down or sitting on them, whatever you're doing, and again, the dog may turn on you, right? You have to be able to control the dog too, by the scruff of the neck, by the sides of the neck. The only thing the dog can hurt you with, for the most part, is their mouth. So if you control their mouth, they can't hurt you, and sometimes, dogs, even small dogs, they can be strong. Small pit bulls, they're strong as hell. So you have to be able to control them so you don't get bit and whatever they're going after doesn't get bit. But I've seen them videos all over. And in the case of putting videos out there in my group and even on my YouTube, I don't show any animal being attacked, any prey. I don't show hunting videos. I don't show people killing hogs, rats, none of that, just because it gives a bad light to the public on a pit bull. They don't look at it like, hey, it's natural for a pit bull to go after coyotes. And just like you said, here, there's no limit on coyotes. There, you don't need a license because they can be a nuisance. They have a way of encroaching. Once they lose their fear of humans, they'll encroach on your property.
Yep.
And that goes just about anything else, whether it's a raccoon or whether it's a possum. I live right on the edge of town where I live, you know, and it's all agriculture, you know, and we seen, you know, I have cats, you know, there's possums and raccoons, a whole family of raccoons come and eat their food, you know, at night, late at night.
Yeah.
So they can be a problem. And that's why people deal with coyotes that way. If you have livestock, if you have chickens, if you have garbage, they get into everything. So that's why there's no limit on them, because they multiply so fast. You know, they have 10, 12 pups in a litter. They breed every 6 months. You know, there's packs out here of 40 or more numbers, you know. So it would be real hard to make coyotes go and stink. And that's what people think. Oh, you're killing this and that. They're not. They're like rats, man. They ain't never going to go away. There's, you know, if it gets too hot for them, they just move, you know, and they go to a different spot where they're not threatened. So they're not stupid. Animals are not stupid, you know. And you know, they did that thing where you know, they started not allowing hunting deer in California. You know, it just went out of control. Now they were overpopulated. They have to allow hunting again. Animals survive, especially prey. That's why their litters are so big. That's why they have big numbers, you know, for the most part. Like predatory birds, you know, they only have 1 or 2 eggs, you know, and even you know, canines, they generally can have a lot, you know, but animals like bear or lions, you know, tigers and like that, their numbers are very small, where the prey has a bunch of them, you know, tons of them, because they're the food source. That's just nature's way of doing it, you know. So you know, there's some good topics. I forgot what else you were talking about, but I think that covered the first 5 minutes anyway.
Yeah. So the other topic I was going to cover tonight was going to be and this is a hard topic, but I've met here in Tucson, I've met over 100 people that have dogs they call pit bulls. And I don't know if y'all know this, but the hardest conversation you will ever have with a person is when they've paid $500 to $1,000 for a dog that you can look at and say, in no way, shape, or form is that dog an American Pit Bull Terrier.
Yeah.
And you have to handle these situations with care. And as much as we like to blast people for it, I think proper education is the best way. And so I think I'm gonna cover that topic in another video again and talk about why, I'm not gonna say why registries are needed, but why you should probably understand what a registry does as far as for the purity of a breed. Registries screw it up too, but they give you a baseline, a standard to kind of look toward when you're going out there, because a lot of these dogs are like purely American Bully, but they're being propagated by the shelters or by the breeders as pit bulls because they know it's going to sell.
Yeah. Well, you know, real quick, I'll just say this, you know, people have learned, have been taught, and they recognize that the word pit bull sells, you know.
Yes.
So they've been mistakenly taught, not just bullies or, you know, or staffs or all that, you know, are the same as pit bulls. That any dog with short hair that's built like that, or any terrier, they say it's a pit bull. And I've been told by some people, oh, they're all the same. It's all the same. No, it ain't all the same. There's only one pit bull, and that ain't it. What you got ain't it, you know. And I'm not that blunt, but like you said, educated them, explaining it to them, if you know the history of it. And there are, you know, different venues for getting American Pit Bull Terriers, you know. Plus, you know, people will buy staffs, little bull staffs, or, you know, like that, and they have a lot of spirit, a lot of athleticism, you know. I know people that own different types, but those educated people know that's not a pit bull. That's an Irish staff. That's a bull staff. That's a Wheaton Terrier. That's you know, a Jagged Terrier. That's a Jack Russell. You know, they should be proud of the breed they own. They don't have to lump it all together as a pit bull or it's got pit bull in it or something like that, you know. So, you know, that's part of it too. I do that all the time when I travel. We used to travel anyways, and just educate people on the difference, you know, at dog shows, because they'll show up, you know, like in Mexico, you can bring any dog you want and be involved in the sports. So I've
Right.
seen, you know, mixes do the treadmill race. You know, they have like a hound dog and a whippet or a greyhound mix. You know, or they'll use a Jack Russell Terrier, or they'll use you know, the little bull staffs. You know, they're neat little dogs, man. They're fast and they're quick, very athletic. They can't they don't have the endurance of a pit bull, but
Yeah.
in the short run, like the treadmill race, you know, man, they're quick. You know.
Yeah.
So I've even been on show, you know, dog shows where it's an all breed show. I judge the pit bull, someone else judges the bullies, someone else judges the shepherds and the toys and all that, and then you have a best of show of all the breeds, you know, together. So
And
that's an opportunity I have to share whatever knowledge I have about the pit bull and other breeds too, because I've owned other breeds of dogs too. You know.
in those shows, where did the pit bull rank?
In the best of show, it came in second. They didn't want to give it to the pit bull because it was thin, you know.
Ah, got
So
you.
a little Jack Russell won it, you know.
What
It was
what
just
about
too
it?
thin for their liking, but the dog
Ah,
was in shape, and she was a world class wall climb. You know, she
yeah,
broke the record. I forget her name. She's been around the internet,
yeah,
and I've judged her before. She's dead now. She was a little patch dog, a little uh that the guy had. She was pretty famous in that world, you know.
yeah,
Antara, her name was Antara or something like that. I forget.
yeah, yeah. I was curious about that.
Yeah, I gave it to the pit bull, but I got outvoted by the other four judges. You know.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
got you. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. She won. You know, in her class, she won first place in her class,
okay.
and then they have all. You know, they put them all together, and you have a best of show. There was thousands of people there, man. You
Yeah,
know, 20, 30 vendors, and it was a big fairgrounds. You know, covered the you know, a big area of the fairgrounds. This is a big deal.
yeah,
Their weight pools and sports and all that. They'll start in the morning and they won't end till the next morning. Sometimes real early, 3, 4, 5 in the morning. They go
yeah,
all day and night. You know, there's so many dogs.
yeah. And she got second place out of all those dogs.
Yeah, yeah. She was like the runner up. You know.
I got you.
Yeah, yeah. They have to win their class, just like you see Yukonuba and all that, you know, on TV and all that. They
Yeah,
win their class, and then they do a all you know, best of show for all the breeds.
yeah,
So she won
yeah,
her class, she won her breed, you know, and
yeah,
then she was put in with the other one. There was German Shepherd there was a Jack Russell, a pug, you know.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, it was
That's
cool,
what's
man.
up. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what's up.
But
Yeah,
the you know, the public, you're right, they need to be educated. But I'm very wary of what I post because I'm so out there, and you know, everybody just about can have access to my videos. So
yeah,
I won't do it. If I was a hunter or something like that, then I could see, yeah, I'll post hunting videos. But people
yeah,
want to post, you know, their dog killed a pig or hunted a pig or rabbits and stuff like that, you know. And
yeah,
I just, it's not a good look for, because we talk about the past and all that, and people will connect it like that's what we do. It's cruel to do that, you know.
yeah. The
And I
first
did
thing,
things to,
huh? Oh no, go ahead, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I did things to bring out that prey drive to enhance it or see which ones actually had it, you know.
Yeah,
And nothing went to waste. You know, if my dogs killed a rabbit, they're gonna eat it. You
yeah,
know, if they
yeah,
kill a gopher, mouse, or a squirrel or whatever it is, you know,
yeah,
I didn't bait them. You know, I didn't feed them animals like that. It was just in the course of being out and about and
yeah,
knowing where the prey is. They'll dig a squirrel out of its hole. You know,
Yeah.
So it's a more natural, no, more natural. It's not me, like, you know.
That's
And you know,
that
honestly,
terrier.
the you know where that come from, the bait dogs,
Okay.
in my opinion, anyways, came from an interview with Pete Sparks, and he
Uh-huh.
was being facetious. He was joking. He was calling them on their bullshit, basically, because the interview asked him, you know, do you feed your pit bulls cats and all the? Oh yeah, we feed them cats and we let them eat small children and, you know, baby animals like that. You know, they
Yeah.
took that shit and ran with it. You know,
Yeah.
and said, oh look, this pit bull guy admitting to it and all. No, that's not what he was doing.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like you had your fear of pit bulls. You know, a lot of people do because they're taught that way,
Yeah.
right? But once
Yep.
you get to know them, you see they're not that way. 99 point whatever percent of pit bulls are not that way. There are
Yeah.
some that are dangerous. Those should be culled. You know, I can't tell people what to do, and Dogman keep those types for whatever reason. I can't knock them. I can't, you know, but in my case, I just would not have it because
Yeah.
for me, it's simple. I can have a good dog that doesn't have that trait. I can have a champion or whatever that doesn't have that. It's
Yeah.
not hard to do. There's no reason for me, anyways, in my situation, to tolerate that when I can have something as good or better that doesn't have that negative connotation to it. You know, it's that simple.
Yeah. Yeah.
People even ask me, "Oh, if you had Zebo and you know he was a man buyer, this and that, you would have called him?" I say, "Yeah, he never would have won 7. He never would have been great."
Yeah.
Well, and
Yeah.
then they go, well, we wouldn't have the great dogs down from him that we had. I say that's right. We'd have other ones and maybe better ones too.
Yeah.
That the Culling a dog is not the end all be all to it. You know, it's not
Yeah.
that you know what are you going to do? Stop breeding pit bulls because you killed a potential 7-time winner? I don't care about that.
Yeah.
What I care about is the dogs are representative of me and my family, and I'm not going to have a man biter out there that could potentially cause an accident. And one of the reasons he was sold more than once was because he bit people. He bit a kid.
Yeah.
He bit Dave Adams' son. That's why he sold him. If that would have happened, he never would have been sold if I
Yeah.
had him. And like I said, he never would have made it to full adulthood to be matched. That's not knocking the dog. He's a great dog. He produced some great dogs. But it's just a liability that I wouldn't tolerate, man. I got kids. Not only
Yeah.
that, there's public out there. Dogs get loose all the time.
Yeah.
You know, if a pit bull finds a way to get loose, he'll get loose. Believe I don't care if you got him in a locked room. They can
They
get
the
out.
they the number one escape artists, I think, out of
They
all
are, man.
breeds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are. I
Yeah.
had one pry himself out of a sky kennel, and when he got out, that door was still closed. It was still
Man.
locked in place out of a sky kennel. He was a little 34-pound dog. He got out,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
didn't pop the door open. It stayed closed. He just wedged himself out, you know,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
then it went back into place. So they can get loose, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Some of them learn how to open doorknobs. You know, it's
Yeah.
not hard. You know,
Yeah. 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 Who was that? Soul?
Yeah, man. So salute.
Yeah.
salute.
Salute.
So and 601 and Big O.
No, good.
Can y'all hear me? Am I clear?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. There was a little echo there.
All right. So let me
It's
let me
gone
adjust
now.
my settings. All right. So this episode, like, I'm not gonna lie, y'all, this was freestyle. This is off the dome. Because I typically go off, if I don't have a topic, then I just go off what I saw on the internet. You know, it stuff happens and I'm like, man, like this is bothering me, you know.
Yeah.
But the last thing I will cover is I'll go back to the coyote thing. Here in Tucson, my first day here, there were coyotes running through the streets at the mall. And I bring that up because a lot of the homeless people here have pit bull type dogs, and I can't make this up. The best behaved pit bull type dogs I've ever seen were owned by homeless people because the bond they have tent cities set up here throughout the desert. Like you can drive by and you'll see 10, 15 tents set up, and they keep these dogs around because they actually have to deal with real predatory coyotes. And coyotes, for those of y'all who haven't seen a coyote in its natural environment, they're not just killers, but they're kind of picky. Like, so the coyotes I saw, they were killing some roadrunners, and what'll happen is they would go in and break the roadrunner's legs, and then they would run in and take a bite while this animal is still alive. They were really like malicious. And I can only imagine, a pack of 5 or 6 coyotes, if they felt like a homeless person couldn't defend themselves. And I've seen pregnant, 5-foot pregnant homeless ladies here. And so they keep these dogs, literally these dogs have to be able to do the work. And they're not out here recording it. They're just using their dogs for real life situations to stay alive, right? So when I see people misusing these dogs and not realizing this is somebody's livelihood that you're going to mess around and get banned, it pisses me off. And I'm going to yield the floor.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point, because coyotes are like that. They're kind of, if you look at it just from a human point of view, they seem currish, chicken shit, but it's just their way of dealing with the situation, and that's why they attack and maim and injure, and then they assess it to where, can I go in without getting hurt? I mean, they don't even want to get pecked by a beak, an animal's beak. So they maim it and injure it, and then they'll mess with it, and then they'll attack it. Sometimes they just kill stuff just to kill it. They don't even eat it, It depends on how hungry they are. But they could see something as a threat to their environment, because roadrunners kill snakes and they kill rodents. That's part of their food supply too. So it could be, that it's a challenge to them. They're competing for food, basically. So if they kill it, they know at least that roadrunner is not going to take their food source from it, And predators, I did a video on predators, because people use prey drive and all that, and that's true, right? But the predatory instinct is not a game type instinct. It's more of a cur type instinct, because they attack from behind, above, or the side. It's not a one-on-one confrontation. It's not a face-to-face confrontation. That would interfere with their survival, because they could get hurt or injured or even killed. So that's why they attack from above, behind, or the side. It's not a head-on deal, which that's nature's way of making sure they survive. The less injury they have, the longer they're going to live. So that's why they attack that way, which a pit bull doesn't. It's face to face, and they'll do that too. I mean, just depending on the situation. But if it's a confrontation, that's what the pit bull deals with. So we have to understand that when we talk about prey drive and we talk about, prey instincts and predatory instincts, they're different in that respect from a predator out in the wild and what a pit bull does,
Yes, sir.
So,
Hey, so
what I'm gonna do is
I'm gonna
pass the mic around
for y'all
for y'all brothers. Anything,
then I'm gonna shut it down
and hit the back chat.
So
I can hear you. So it's like it's showing that you're talking, but I can't hear you.
All right. Schoolboy, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
601.
Yeah, again, I just want to say thanks for having me on again, and let me address some of these topics, and salute to the chat. A lot of familiar faces, Dickie and some of the other ones, Heart and Finish and all that. I'm glad you guys are supporting the channel. It's a great channel, good people. A lot of different, it doesn't always have to be, about pit bulls talking to the path. It could be training. It could be hunting. It could be, temperament and behavior, and, anything that puts the pit bull in a good light, I'm all for it. So you guys are doing a good job.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Peace.
There you are, Soul. I can hear you now, bro.
Hey, salute to the brothers, man.
What's
Hey, y'all
happening?
forgive me, man. My son was over here playing with the soundboard and everything and had some technical difficulties. Salute to the mighty Shogun Army in the building.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Hey, salute Mr. Garcia. We got the infamous, the great schoolboy in the building, man. It's an honor to always have you on the panel. You dig? That boy Big A
Thank you
over there
very much.
getting it. Yeah, I see you, Big A. He on that 50 Cent in the
Oh
club.
yeah. Oh yeah, man. You know what it is. You know what it
Yes,
is.
sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
I see
yeah.
you, bro.
You don't have to stop your workout. You can do it while we're talking.
Oh yeah.
Yes, sir.
No diggy. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, y'all forget my tardiness. I just got off the road and I'm over here trying to get the yard together because I'm going out of town. So you feel me?
Okay.
Going on a good old family trip.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Have a good trip, man. Enjoy yourself.
Yeah, man. I'm excited, man. We my people throwing a surprise birthday party for my granny 80th birthday. So, we pulling up, we driving from Georgia to Louisiana, about to go turn up and have a good time with the granny. So just making sure that
You
What's
need
that, brother?
vacation. You need that.
man, I'm telling you, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, I done like these last 2 weeks, I done probably drove, I don't know, about 14,000 miles. So I'm burnt out right now. Yeah, I'm burnt out.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm burnt out.
Wow.
But man, it's just good to be on here with the brothers talking this dog talk. You know what I mean?
Yes,
We got
sir.
the great brothers on here. I know I'm tardy, I'm late. You feel me? I don't know what we was cooking on. I heard something about the coyotes. I definitely got a coyote story when I was in Arizona. If y'all don't mind me cooking on that real quick.
Man, cook.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, so it was about 2014, 2015 at the time. I had a, little, I guess it was a band dog. That's what he was. He was a bully and a little Niggerino dog cross. And man, I get off work like 2 a.m, bro. I'm pulling I lived in a little cul-de-sac, so I'm pulling through, bro. And this damn coyote had to be about the size of about a 9-month-old male German Shepherd. And I'm like, God, dog. And the only thing I kept thinking about was my cul-de-sac, and it was 3 other families with young children like mine. My baby was about 3 or 4 at the time. So I'm just thinking about these babies. And coyotes is no joke, man. They'll grab it. If they can pick it up, they'll grab it and hop over a fence with your baby.
Quick.
Yeah. So that's what first thing I thought about. Man, I pulled right into my driveway. I went and grabbed my dog, that little 95-pound band dog, and I grabbed my pistol and we went hunting.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, man. So I went looking, it was a bunch of fields around the neighborhood, and I'm like, they gotta have a den around here. And fortunately I didn't find nothing that night, but eventually we did have the animal control coming through and everything, and they had like a warning in the area, if you got small animals, your children, be careful, because there was multiple sightings of packs of coyotes roaming around in like a 2-3 mile square area. So
Right.
yeah, they, no joke, super cunning, very tricky. They'll use decoys on you. They'll send one coyote, and while the other ones, as a distractor, and then the other ones come in and snatch up your pet. So
they got
man,
they got the hunting tactics down, man.
yeah. And I mean, when you look at them in nature, the apex predator is the wolf. So they didn't evolve into the size, but they had the wits. So they way more cunning than the wolf is. You know what I mean? And man, what is that hybrid that they have where they started seeing them crossing the coyote and the wolf? I don't know if y'all brothers. Yeah, man. Like Alberta, Canada, has population bloom of these hybrid animals. These coyote and wolf crosses.
Okay.
But yeah, it's supposed to be super predators because they got the smarts of the coyote, but the size of that gray wolf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes
Hey,
sense.
don't,
Yeah.
Dre, didn't you say there was some bear attacks when you first went down there?
Yeah, there were some bear attacks, and there was also to talk about fatalities. There was a coyote-related fatality in California not too long ago, where a lady's child was taken by coyotes, and
Man.
you know,
Yeah. Yeah. I got a coyote story. My son was his first pit bull was Bill, who ended up being a champion. So he spent a lot of time with them. They go out and about. He'd go out at night with them, you know. And my son always carries a knife. You know, we always, I probably told this before, but I'll tell it again. So he had his knife with him, right? So they roll up they're out there, he's walking them out, you know, and out in the fields, and some coyotes show up. And, you know, a coyote by itself is not too brave, but you get 2 or 3 and they do like he was just said, you know, where they'll figure out a way to get to you, right? So
Right.
I don't know how many there were. It was dark, you know, the moon was out, but my son, he couldn't tell, you know, like if there was 3, 4, whatever. So they attacked him. So, and what happened is he came back and he had blood on him and he was dirty and muddy and all this stuff, you know. So I asked him what happened. He said, yeah, Dad, some coyotes attacked us. Well, what'd you do? You know, he goes, man, I pulled out my knife. He goes, I was stabbing at him. I stabbed him. Bill was killed one and going after another one, this and that. Finally, they dispersed, you know, because they put up a fight, you know.
Hey.
But I had taught him, you know, and the way we were raised, you know, you always have something on you. If it ain't a gun, it's a knife or ice pick or something, you know.
Something.
So that dog basically saved his life because by himself, he was only probably 12 years old. By himself, he might not have been able to handle it, you know. But with the dog there, and you know, he had him on a lead. He said, Dad, I just let the lead go and let Bill just went after him. And when they started taking off, he was on one coyote. He said, I just grabbed the lead so he wouldn't take off after him. And then, you know, he killed that coyote and the other one just took off, you know.
Yeah.
Don't look at me, little puppet.
Don't look at me.
Don't look at me, little puppet.
Yeah, like that. So, you know, and back in the day, you know, we always had firearms with us, always. Even going to high school, you know, it wasn't illegal. Everybody had a pickup and a gun rack because that's where we lived.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, in the back. So, you know, this is a little off topic, but if you raise knowing guns, safety, how to shoot them, how to load them, how to clean them, like that, it's just another benefit. You learn how to defend yourself, and you can think clearly, you know, when a situation arises, rather than just pulling a gun and shooting mindlessly and bam, you know, like that, empty it, whatever it is, you know. And it helps you in home defense too, you know. So I see the gun as it's a weapon, but it's a tool. It can be used for different things, you know,
like you said,
just like anything else.
Just like you said at the beginning. Yeah.
So to me, guns ain't bad, you know, they're good, but you need to be taught everything about them, even the history of it, you know, how do guns fire, how were they developed? So the more education you have, the better you understand them, you know. And for me, for home defense, I just keep it simple. For me, the best home defense gun is a revolver.
12 gauge? Oh, okay. I thought you was going to say 12 gauge shotgun.
Yeah. Well, 12 gauge, if you have number 4 shot, is not too bad, you know. But the less you have to mess with the gun, especially in a home situation, the better.
Right.
So you have more bullets with a semi-auto. But these are 3 questions I ask people when they have a semi-auto for for home defense, right? I ask them, is it double action or single action?
Mm-hmm.
I ask them, do you have a round chambered or not? Do you have the safety on or off? Right?
Yep.
With a revolver, you don't need none of that. It's point and shoot.
Yeah.
If it misfires, you pull the trigger again, you go to the next round.
Right.
True.
So because in a situation, you could be asleep. And you could be, you know, you don't have time sometimes to think, well, is it chambered or not? Do I have to cock it first? Do I chamber the bullet? Is the safety on? You know,
Right.
is it double action, single action, all that? The situation requires point and shoot to defend yourself.
Right.
Right.
So that's why I advise people to to use revolvers for home defense. You know, but
Right.
if you like guns, man, learn as much as you can about them. Learn safety. Learn how to use them. Learn how to clean them and how they work. And it just helps you all around being familiar with firearms. You know.
Hey, Mr.
Right.
Garcia, we got to get you on the panel when we talking about the guns and ammo. That's one of the things that me and myself, great brother Samurai. You know, we love talking the gun talk. We had a Friday night thing where we would talk about guns, and we had a little sip and chill thing that we did, and you know, we would talk about the caliber for the day and or the caliber for the month. So hey, Dre, we got to get back to that, man. Got to get back to it.
Yeah, I'd be glad to get on there. You know, there's different, you know, it's different situations require different calibers, different type of guns and whatever. You know, my other home defense gun was a side by side called the Overland 12 gauge shotgun. It has exposed hammers, right?
Oh yeah.
And in the home, I use number 4 shot because if you use buckshot, you know, if it goes through the wall, or you could hear a kid or something like, you know.
Right.
Heard a neighbor, you know, something in the other room like that. So number 4, it's enough to man stop someone, but it's not going to go through your house outside the door and kill someone else, you know.
Right.
And the exposed hammers, it's too hard for a small child to cock them, right? And again, you know, if the hammer's down, it's not cocked. If the hammers are back, it's cocked. Because, you know, you get in situations, and I'll say this real quick, and then I'll let you guys do what you do. But I was riding in a pickup with my dad. I had a 22 rifle with me, and my dad asked me, "Is it loaded? You know, do you have a bullet in the chamber?" I said, "Nah, Dad, it's not loaded." And to prove it, I was going to put the gun on my foot and pull the trigger, right? Just being a dumb kid. And then I thought about all that. My dad taught me this and that. Always make sure there's no bullet in there. So I pulled back the slide and a bullet popped out.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was unloaded, and it wasn't. I would have shot my damn foot just to prove a point, and I would have been wrong proving that point. Like that, you know.
Yeah.
Della Reese and Harlem Nights. So you shot my pinky toe?
Shot my pinky. I shoot that little motherfucker off.
Hey, Dre.
That crusty dead.
Hey, Dre, what do they do in the military when you have a misfire or whatever it's called?
So inadvertent discharge, automatic Article 15. Automatic Article 15. So you're wearing that on your record. That's pretty much the equivalent of a felonious charge. You know, that's staying with you. And even when you're discharged, it'll show up on your DD Form 214 that you caught that charge while you were in.
Damn.
Yes, there's so many scenarios with guns, and that's why you shouldn't point the gun at anything unless you're going to shoot it. You can misfire on a gun, and it'll take a little while for that filament to heat up, and a couple of seconds later it'll fire. Right?
Yeah.
So, you know, and like I said, you think it's unloaded, it's not. So never point a gun unless you're going to shoot it. Just like never pull your gun out unless you're going to shoot it.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to be used as a threat. And I know there's situations where you could use it as a threat, right? But they're so dangerous and people don't think under pressure that accidents happen. I've had friends shoot themselves in the head. Not friends, but one friend of my brother killed himself, and he was in the military cleaning his gun, and he shot himself and killed himself. So, you know, they are dangerous if you don't follow the protocol.
Right.
And the best thing I teach my kids is don't point the gun unless you're going to shoot it, and keep your damn finger off the trigger.
Yes,
because
sir.
kids, when the kids, they're taught, you know, you play with guns and they shoot this and that. Well, you get in the habit of putting your finger on that trigger, and it doesn't take much pressure, especially if it's locked and loaded, to pull that trigger and fire that weapon.
Right.
So I teach my kids from a young age, do not put your finger on that trigger. Keep it off there. Keep it on the side, you know, like See, and it's just one quick motion to pull the trigger, you know, after you have your finger on the side. But if you got it there, man, a jolt, falling down, jumping up and down,
Yeah.
could set it off. And if you got to point at the wrong thing, something's going to happen.
Sure.
So yeah, I'd like to get on that program. I have a lot of old school, you know, methods.
Definitely.
Even the way I shoot, you know, is different than
Yeah.
most
Oh,
people. You know,
I know how you shoot, Mr. Garcia.
Do
I
ya?
see. I already know it. Yeah, yeah. You,
Okay.
you one-handed, and you parallel like a boxer. The old school
Exactly.
boxers. Uh-huh.
Yep.
Yes,
Yep.
sir.
Yeah. And
Yes,
it's
sir.
basically, you know, if you watch people shooting a firearm, right, it's crooked because they keep their wrist straight. So even if you're pointing it straight out, your wrist is crooked, right? So the gun fires crooked. So you have to adjust your arm so that the gun points straight. Where if you turn your wrist out like that and hold the handgun, it's straight.
Okay.
That's an old Western method. Bat Masterson wrote about it. That's where I got it from, you know,
Okay.
about how to handle firearms. And if you look in some of the Clint Eastwood movies, you'll see how he handles the firearm like that.
Yeah.
Schoolboy, let me find out you John Wick out here. Pit bulls and pistols.
Yeah, I just, you know, it goes both ways. I've been shot at 3 times too. You know, it ain't fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Hey,
it
thank
ain't
God
fun,
they
man.
couldn't shoot that well.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, they were off. Yeah.
Hey,
They didn't
maybe
know.
we shouldn't be giving these guys this advice. Keep missing you, mother.
yeah, keep it exactly.
Yeah,
You know,
Yeah.
and
They
even in my own case, you know, I've shot. We used to compete, and what we do is you know, my dad would bet on me, right? And we'd put cigarettes up, you know, tie it to a pole like that, and shoot. And I'd shoot when I was a kid. I shoot against grown men, right?
Right.
At maybe 50 paces, you know, and I'd always win. But I've missed shooting a chicken from 6 feet away. So
Yeah.
you know, there's a lot to
Hey,
it, man.
Mr. Garcia, you not lying. I had a damn about a 6 foot. I can't remember what type of snake it was, but it got into my chicken coop, and I ran in the house and I grabbed my daughter's 22, and this thing's got a red dot on it and everything. I was about 10 feet away, and I missed that bastard about 4 times before I got on him.
Yeah,
And he was strangling one of my chickens too.
yeah,
And
yeah.
man, I'm pow, 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 pow. My wife
Yeah.
was over there screaming like, "Hit the motherfucker!"
shoot him. Yeah, it's not hard to do, because if you were let's say you take just a piece of paper, right, and you draw a straight line down the paper, then you start another line right next to that one. Be off 1 degree, right, and draw
Yeah.
that line. As it spreads out, it gets wider and wider like that.
Right.
So over distance, you being off 1 inch one way or the other way over dozens of yards, you're going to be off by feet,
Right.
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I
Then we
learned,
talked about small projectiles as well too.
right,
Yeah.
exactly. And they drop over distance and air, you know,
Right.
windage and elevation and all
Right.
that matters. So I learned to point and shoot, whether it's a handgun or a rifle.
Right.
I don't necessarily need to use both sights. I'll use the front sight of a rifle as the aiming point, right?
Like a shotgun.
Because like a shotgun, right?
Yeah.
And with the shotgun, I don't even use that, but yeah, the same concept, right? And what happens is, if you learn to look at what you're shooting at and you point the gun at the same spot, you're going to hit it, right?
Right.
Okay.
Because the if you look at a target far off, it looks small, right? But if you match it up to the end of your barrel, it's right in front of your barrel.
Right.
It's right there. So if you adjust for elevation, right, you might have to be a little bit above it, depending on how far the distance is, or if there's wind coming one direction or the other, you
Right.
adjust a little bit over, you're gonna hit it. And I could hold a rifle off to the side using that method and hit the target. Just hold it out like that. Even a
Mr.
gun.
Garcia,
like that.
let me find out you was
Yeah.
in that Wanted movie. You over there doing that curve shot, shooting around corners.
Like that.
Hey,
But
what
just
was it?
practice, when you have
Yeah.
a number, unlimited number of ammunition and weapons, you learn how to shoot. But that's all we
That's
did
true.
every day,
Yeah. Hey, what was your favorite thing hunting?
Favorite thing hunting?
Yeah, what
I'm
did you
not
like
really
to
a
hunt the
hunter.
most?
I've
Okay.
I've killed just about everything except for
Yeah.
bears and big game and stuff like that, right? But the
Right.
hardest thing to hunt is rabbits and squirrels. That's the hardest thing to hit,
Yeah.
right? But what makes it easy if when they panic, they'll stop sometimes and they just sit there. They won't
Yeah.
move.
Yeah.
But if they're on the run, they're the hardest thing to hit because they're so small.
Yeah,
So you
I
have
used
to
to try
lead
and hit
them,
them with. I used to try and hit them with a BB gun back when I was, little country boy out in
Yeah,
Palestine. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Well, with the BB gun, you have to adjust more because it
Yeah.
drops real soon,
Yeah.
But I could see the BBs coming out of the barrel.
Oh yeah, you can
So
see
in
it because they
practice,
slow.
yeah.
Yeah.
So in practice, you see where they go, what the trajectory is, and then you see it land, and then you make adjustments for it.
Right.
So there's a lot to it. It's fun, man. I like it. I'm not opposed to guns, and for
Absolutely.
me, other than fully automatic weapons, which the public doesn't need, I don't care what they got. I don't care what the magazine holds. I don't care if it's single shot, double shot, big bore. It don't matter to me. 22s, anything, shotgun, single shot,
Yeah.
pump, automatic shotguns. When I got arrested fighting time, I had 21 handguns, rifles, and shotguns.
Yeah.
Have had a lot of guns. All different kinds. I just like them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hey, fellas,
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
gonna go ahead and shut it down for this week though. But I'm gonna make my
Okay.
rounds because there was a question asked for Schoolboy about the ICDR. Big A, I wanted you to tell him about the physical motivation. Soul, I
Okay.
wanted you to tell him about bringing back the show. 601 upcoming litters and anything else y'all want to spill on. So y'all just do a round robin real quick, and then we'll shut it down.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, ICDR, it's International Coalition Dog Registry. Hit me up on Facebook Messenger, or my email is richardjschoolboy60@gmail.com, or on Instagram. It's $45 for 4-generation registration. Litter registration is $10 per pup, and kennel registration is $50. So it's been growing good, people. It's all private. I keep it, nothing's shared, with anybody. If somebody wants to share their pets or put them online, that's their business, But I
Right.
get a lot of good feedback and a lot of support from, all over the place, even Australia,
Yeah.
So I
Down
appreciate
under.
that. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Soul, Big A, 601. Go ahead and plug y'all stuff in, bro. I'm gonna plug my stuff in dead last.
For sure. Well, let me go ahead and give a wellness salute to everybody in the chat and everybody on the panel. You already know it's the Shogun. Hey man, y'all stay tuned, man. It's been y'all already know it's holiday season, so the grind is on overtime
real.
right now. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. So I haven't, I've kind of been neglecting the platform, but I am happy to say that we just hit over 500 subs yesterday.
Hey, let's
Hey.
go.
Yes, sir.
Celebrate.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I appreciate everybody locking in, staying in, recapping some of them old lives and, those following those videos as well. Much appreciation. Yeah, man, we definitely go bring back the Friday night. You know what? I don't know what day I want to do because I appreciate that, sis. I don't want to step on some of my LDBC brothers and these time constraints and everything like that. So, man, we're going to figure out a day where we're going to make this happen. But more consistent shows is coming. We got, for sure, we go do a New Year's show. We got to do a New Year's show. You did.
Yeah.
We got to get toe up. You know what I'm saying? Wellness wishes, and we got to,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? We got to step into the New Year's the right way. But them blade sharps and them shields tight. You dig? That defense game. It's the Shogun. Love y'all, brothers.
For sure.
So we,
601.
and,
Yes, sir.
I just
601 the business.
it's real life going on, you know what I'm saying? And you know, we just glad for time like this right here, man. You know what I'm saying? Even if you can't, goddamn it, you know what I'm saying, do it every day, every week, you know what I'm saying? The time that you do it, let it be 1,000 like this right here, man. And that's
Yes,
all
sir.
I do. Everything, bro.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man. It's your boy Big A. Back in here like I love my keys and wallet. Dre wanted me to talk about. So I don't want to be too long-winded with it, but not everybody has the beats in them. You know what I'm saying? It's that one thing that eats at you, you know, before you go to bed, when you wake up in the morning, when you're around your kids and your family, you know, for some dog man, it be the dogs, it be the game. You know, for other people, it be whatever it is. But not everybody has a beast in them. And when you take the time and you recognize that beast within yourself, you got to feed that beast. And when you start feeding that beast, the more you feed it, the hungrier it gets. So you got to continue to feed it. That beast might be your goals, it might be whatever it is, but all of us don't have that beast in us. I can see it in a lot of dog men because a lot of them that lost marriages and gone through a lot of other stuff because of the dogs, you know. But ultimately, you got to feed that beast. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, once you start feeding that beast, you can't stop feeding it. So whatever it is that you chasing, when I say feed that beast, you know what it is. I'll call Dre and I ask Dre, I say, Dre, you feed that beast today? You know, because it's real in the field, man. And a salute to everybody out there, man. Love y'all boys. Love the fam. All the channels out there, man. You know what it is. Sleep with the Giants, wake with the Monsters, be with the Lions. Dre.
Yes, sir. Hey, man. Hey, couldn't say it better myself, yo. And I did want to give a special shout out to Dogman TV that was in the building tonight, man. If I didn't give a shout out to them, man, I would be remiss. But I want to cover one other thing I said I was going to cover at the beginning of this show, and that's my little, I don't know if y'all have seen it in the community post, but it's 0341.
It ain't little Dre.
0341
Salute.
is the Military Excellence Discrepancy Report. Your day can be great and have excellence, or it could have a discrepancy. The choice is yours. Every morning, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, I'm up at 3:41 in the morning, walking the dogs, cleaning up shit, washing my ass, getting to the gym. My shift doesn't start till 7 o'clock in the morning. And by 7 o'clock in the morning, I've accomplished more than most people have their whole damn day. And I share that 0341 with y'all every morning that I do it, because I wanted to be that motivating factor when you want to give up, when you don't feel like doing that stuff, when them dogs just pissed you off because they got off the chain and fucked up the yard. Just know that Brother Dre and the Shogun Army are going through it with you.
Yes,
It's
sir.
a constant reminder that 0341 pressure that nobody else feels, man, it's the sacrifice. Think about this. If you ever had a yard full of dogs, you know you can't go on them vacations and them cruises that them Yorkie owning fools can go on. And that 0341 is a constant reminder of exactly what the dog man and the Neo Dog man go through. And with that being said, y'all, I gotta go ahead and pay the sponsors with the outro.
Please forgive. Too many mind.
What's good, big dog? It's your boy Dre,
Meines Hund.
and this is Samurai
Meine
Kennel.
people want.
At my kennel, we focus on my breed of choice, the American Pit Bull Terrier. I also want to become a basic obedience trainer as a professional. I train basic obedience: sit, down, stay, come, and basic healthy walking